An interview in a little while, so it feels good to be back. Of course, I got a guest that I'm very, very, very excited here to have in the building. I have Miss Angelica Nor in the building.
What's up, y'all?
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good right now. I'm glad there's no freaking rain.
Yo, through trials and tribulation, we finally got the interview in. Just to give people like a little backstory. We were supposed to do the interview last week, but of course, as y'all know, this severe rain really, slowed things up. So, we're finally here. We're finally here. You're in
We
the
were close
building.
too.
We were very close. And then the power went out here, and then it was just.
We tried really hard. Like we waited the whole time. Everyone believed in it.
I know. I was a block away.
Shout out to you
I
for
couldn't get
making
here.
that trek. I don't know if you picked up on it, but Gabe was trying to dissuade you very low key. He's not good at that because he's not a very direct person.
But
Nah, it's
I
alright.
tried to kind of throw the bone. I was like, yo,
Nah, I
this-
know. I didn't realize it was gonna be so crazy.
I didn't either. I don't think he did either. For the record,
Yeah,
He just
I
likes
was
to
I was at the crib
ruin
all day,
plans.
and I was like, yeah, this shit is crazy. You feel me?
Because down south, it was raining, but it wasn't raining like what it was here.
Right.
Here, I was scared for my life. Over there, I was like,
Yeah,
all right, I could probably walk my dog in 30 minutes. You feel me? So.
Nah, yeah, that especially this road specifically was fucking crazy. But of course, we could talk about the rain all fucking day. Let's get right to the beginning of it, man. So Angelica, give us the start, man. What was your early life like?
Um, my early life, basically, I mean, I've always been around people that do art. My mom is, she was a dancer and choreographer for a show in Colombia. My grandfather was the violinist of the Florida Symphony. My grandma was a ballerina. My brother's a drummer. So it's like my whole family's got some kind of art in it, but like something that I feel like really affected me in terms of like absorbing a bunch of artistic energy was that my mom she was an artist as well, and she would do art shows. And so me and my mom would travel throughout the whole United States, just like going to art shows
Damn,
and stuff
for real?
like that. So like I think that was really a positive. I wasn't just like sitting at home all day, like I was really absorbing shit. So
And seeing
that
it
was nice.
firsthand, being around people that you probably wouldn't normally be around.
Exactly. And seeing all different kinds of art and people like, trying to make it in the art world. Well, it was visual art, not like audio or like,
Right, like paintings, and
right.
sculptures,
but,
and things like that.
That definitely did affect me in a good way. So I was like, damn, this is fucking beautiful.
What's one of like the early art pieces or like a memory that you could have there that you feel like really like impacted you or like?
I wouldn't say necessarily art pieces, but I made a lot of friends. I would like walk around the whole time during the art show. My mom would be like taking care of her paintings, and I'd just be walking around making friends. And I'd be like, "You should go check out my mom's art. You should go check out my mom's art." And they would go to my mom's like place, being like, "Your daughter brought me here."
Hey,
I was like 5 years old, so
that promotion.
yeah.
That's lit. That's lit. So you told me that you were originally from Colombia. So you were born there?
Yeah, I was born in Colombia, and then I went to Nebraska.
Wow.
When I was 3 years old, so I lost most of my Spanish, honestly.
So you don't speak no Spanish at all?
I do speak Spanish, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've been all over the United States. So like, I went from Nebraska to Los Angeles to Arizona to Georgia to here. So
So what out of like all those areas that you've been, which one would you say was like the initial place that started to mold you or like, create your style?
here,
Florida?
I didn't start music until 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, yeah, I've always been kind of scared of trying music, to be honest.
So before that, like what were like your main focuses?
I did. Well, yeah, I tried like doing clay. I did some paintings. I did dancing a little bit when I was younger with my mom.
Like choreography dancing?
My mom had dance lessons. She was also a
Like
dance teacher.
like modern dancing?
Yeah, and salsa and stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
Don't
okay.
ask me to dance now though, cause I'm a terrible dancer. But yeah,
Damn, hard like you're a terrible, horrible dancer or like.
nah. I mean, I'm not terrible, but I'm not like.
But I feel like when it comes to like salsa, merengue, bachata, and shit like that, like as long as your partner is solid,
That's true.
you'll be
yeah.
all right. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, you get yourself a solid partner, and you can like,
you
not
can
be that good.
Yeah, you can look decent. Couple spins, and that's it. You'll be all right.
Exactly.
So you said 5 years is when you started music.
Yeah.
So initially, like, what were the artists that were inspiring you to make you feel like it was something tangible for you to do?
Well, I had okay, so like it's weird because I was like always afraid of music. I thought music was like cuz I would hear stories about my grandfather and how he would practice every day and this and that, and I was like that sounds like something for a talented ass person. And I was like I feel like I don't really want to try that. But I feel like every time I saw an instrument, I was like I want to play that so bad. But yeah, one day I just bought myself a guitar and like I started learning guitar. And my guitar teacher, which actually my song that I have coming out next month, he did a guitar solo on the song.
Oh shit.
So it's kind of really nice to have like a full circle of like
Well,
where I started.
To where you're at now.
Exactly. So I mean, I want to give a big thanks to him.
Shout him out. What's his name?
Raymond Daniel. He does music. He's been touring with an artist right now. I forget his name right now, but yeah, I'm like really happy to have him, still in my life and like stuff like that. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So who were you listening to though? Like at that time that you bought the guitar?
At the time, I was listening to like a lot of like indie music. I was listening to a lot of Pink Floyd. I was also listening to a lot of metal. Metal was my music at that time.
Like what kind of metal? Like hair metal or like?
Nah,
real
like. Nah, there's this, well, I don't even know what that even is, what kind of metal that is, but it's like a band called Draconian, where it's kind of like melodic, and there's like opera singing in the background, and like stuff like that.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I still listen to it though, don't get me wrong.
So when you first like started recording yourself, like what was your sound like? It was more of like on the rock side of it?
Yeah, well, my first song, it's actually kind of funny, the first song I ever released is under an artist name that is not my name. I had a different name.
What was
Slightly different. It's Angelica Noir. And I just took out the I because now it's Angelica Nor.
Right.
But it was like a dance song. So it was just straight like
oh shit.
And like a family friend, and he's also like someone really important in Colombia too. He goes to Grammys and stuff like that. He's like in the business. He listened to my song and he was like, okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to be a DJ or do you want to be an artist? And I was like, damn, you're right. Like, if I do dance music, people are going to think I'm a DJ.
Right.
So I kind of started switching it up, and then that's when I started getting into more rap and stuff like that. And then I did like heavy hardcore rap, like my song Silly, where I'm like, cursing and I'm a bitch and I'm a, whatever. But then I'm kind of going into like a softer, more Latino, jazzy kind of vibe now.
Right, right. So when you first started to kind of like get into the rap shit, like during that time, what was like your inspiration behind that to kind of make that transition to more of like, I guess you would say like a bar, like centric style?
Yeah. Well, when I was doing rap, I was like heavy on the Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar. I'm trying to think of another artist that like probably. No, Kendrick Lamar was like my main artist. Like that's all I would listen to in terms of rap. Like I know half of his song memorized. I would actually teach myself how to rap better with his music. Like I would play his instrumental songs and I would rap to it myself. And like he has a really weird cadence in most of his songs. So it was like really fun to learn how to like incorporate that into my own songs.
Right.
And not just have like a stagnant
like a basic type of flow.
Yeah.
Like. So when like at what point did you feel like you were finally becoming comfortable with like making music and like started to kind of get that confidence that like we see now?
That actually took a long time. My first album is Static Unchanged, and I wrote that during COVID, and it's like really about President Trump was he was the president at the time, and so it was like mostly about like greediness, gold, like corruption and stuff like that. But when I listen back at that, I don't even like to perform those songs because you can tell in my voice I wasn't confident.
Right.
But as I kind of I did a song after that that's called Nicotine. That was like my first singing song, and I think since that song is when I started to kind of like find myself, find my voice, feel comfortable. I'm taking vocal classes and everything, so it's like. Yeah.
So you're trying to find like that perfect pitch.
Exactly, yeah. I'm trying to be able to sing without having a backing track and it sound like the song.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't do that. Nobody does that in shows.
Trust me. I always feel like when Because, like, you know, as a rapper, you know, you try to always have, like, you know, make sure you don't fuck up your lyrics. So, like, you know, if you go no backing track.
That's
but
so hard.
I realized that when you fuck up and, like, let's say, or not fuck up, but let's say you run out of breath, just like you running out of breath, but then catching it coming back, like, that's the beauty of it.
No, exactly.
'Cause
Yeah, I like that.
Even, like, when I go to, like, I went to see, like, Currency in concert.
Oh,
and,
that's
like,
fire.
watching him, he was running out of breath during certain parts of the songs, and the crowd was finishing it off, but it was no backing track. And ever since I seen that, I was like, yeah, that's the way to go.
It's kind of funny because when I saw Kendrick Lamar live for his Damn album, on his song DNA, like after the first part of the song, there's like the second half where he raps really fast, and I was like waiting the whole performance basically, like, is he gonna sing the whole song? Because he sings it like, I'm pretty sure he did multiple takes. I mean, I would think so, because I try to rap it and I'm like, yo. But yeah, you can tell like he was just like and I'm like, damn, I wanted to hear the whole fucking thing live, you feel me? But obviously it's not, it's crazy, you're jumping on stage, you're out of breath,
The
like,
energy that you bring.
exactly, yeah. So but I actually do think that when artists sing naturally and you can tell that they're just performing and there's no backing track, it's like a beauty. It's not like,
It's more of a moment.
exactly,
It's
yeah,
more special, more
exactly.
of a moment.
100%.
So when did production and, like, engineering become a part of your repertoire?
That's what I started with. I started producing and like my friends would come over and we would do freestyles, like super dumb freestyles, and I would just make a whole bunch of beats, so that way when they would come over, like I would go through a list and they'd be like, oh, I like this one, or they'd be like, that one's trash, and I'd be like, damn.
Damn.
But it's okay, I appreciate
cooked.
it.
I promise I did.
Exactly. Nah, but so yeah, I started producing, and then I was like, damn, I could rap. Like, I was like, I actually can rap pretty good, so that's when I started rapping. But it started with producing. I mainly do producing, to be honest. Like, I have 1,000 songs that, well, I'd say I my main thing is producing and writing songs. I have a whole bunch of songs that I feel like other artists would sound good on. I have, like, many different genres. Like, hella genres. I'm like Lil Yachty when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lit. Have you ever tried to, like, go to, like, these writing camps and, like, things like that?
I haven't. What I want to know how to do, if somebody can tell me how to do this, is like how to sell song, like full written songs.
So basically what they do is, like, let's say, like, an artist who is, like, more established.
Yeah.
They'll have a writing camp.
Oh, fire.
So basically, like, somebody who has the connections to those people, they'll bring other artists, like, and then they'll rent, like, a studio, maybe something like this, where they'll have, like, 4 or 5 different rooms, and then in those 4 or 5 different rooms, you can go and you can make tracks, or, you know, you can sneakily record some shit for yourself. Like,
Right.
you could just do a whole bunch of shit, and then from there, they would distribute it, and then it could get picked up or whatever.
I might have to look into that.
And I could definitely point you in
For
that
sure.
in that right direction for
I'd
sure.
appreciate it.
No, but that's really cool. That's the one thing that, honestly, like, when I seen you, that really, like, made me develop an admiration for you was when you were like, yo, I produce my own shit, I engineer my own music, and then the type of energy that you bring, I was like, you
Thank
know
you.
what, like, that's somebody that I could see, you know, is
Yeah.
going about it in that right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Like,
you.
you're consistent. That's the one thing too, and I feel like you're not scared to try different things, like when it comes to, like, your look, your aesthetic, and things like that. And that's something that, you know, you should be proud of, because a lot of times it's like a lot of people, we like to stay in a box or like to stay comfortable. Just because
100%.
I grew up with you and I see you a certain way doesn't mean that that's who you are.
Exactly.
Like, now, what's one of, like, the challenges, like, emotionally, that, like, you've been through, like, as an artist?
One thing that was like that I'm like so scared of happening to me today is that, well, it did happen to me, but like I had a deadline to do a song in a month. I had 1 month to do a song and to write it, record it, produce it, have it basically finished, like released by the end of the month kind of thing. And I was working on my mom's computer. That's when I like kind of was like a year and a half in, 2 years. And I hadn't bought my own computer yet, so I was working on my mom's computer. It wasn't like a crazy, it was just a normal computer.
Right.
And in the middle of producing and recording the song, I had already recorded like a draft, which I was going to use for the final. My computer died.
Oh,
like, my computer stopped working, and I lost everything. I had to re-record. I
Damn.
had to do everything basically again. I had the beat just because I had like the project file, but that was a pain because then I had to get a new phone, not a new phone, a new computer. Yeah, I ended up releasing the song a month later, but but yeah, no, that was so traumatizing. I cried and everything because like I remember I was just struggling to record a take, and I hit the record button, I recorded it, and I was happy with that last take I did, and I was like, oh yeah, and I go back to the screen to look at it, and it's just loading, and I was like,
here it goes. Here it goes.
It was like the worst moment. Like I literally cried myself to sleep.
That's really sad, man. That's I'm about to cry now.
Yeah.
Damn. So, you as you engineer yourself, how do you know when you did a good take?
I don't. Nah, I'm playing. Yeah, that's actually kind of hard because there's some songs that I'm like, I wish I had another opinion right now, so that way it's like, because I've been doing, like I told you, more like jazzy vibes, kind of more like if it was a band, basically. And I haven't really ever done vocals on a song like that. So when I like do the vocals on those songs, like I have to like record it all, and then I show it to my family. I'm like, did that even sound good? Like I don't even know if I'm doing this right. And they're like, yeah, but you could do this and that. So mostly my family gives me feedback, but that's really after good. The recording process. So.
That's really good. Now, when I used to like rap, the way I would kind of know if it was a good take is like, you know, like the like sound waves.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, you know, like, because it's rapping, so I'm like, all right, like that's like a big sound wave, so I projected my voice. Yeah. Like, but I wouldn't know because I don't know how to engineer or nothing. Right. So like I would just have a feeling. You'd and be like all right, sometimes I'd be right, sometimes I'd be wrong.
No, 100%. It's definitely an art, recording, because you can be a good singer, you can be a good percussionist, you can be a good guitarist, you can be a good so many things, but it's different when you have to record it. It's a different thing. You have to be basically robotic.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. Now, do you consider yourself a perfectionist?
100%. I don't let anybody mix my music, because since I produce and I write the song in the moment, so I'm basically doing like a mix in live, like I'm mixing the song live. So I've sent out my song to get mixed like 3 times, and every single time I'm like, I wish I should have just mixed it myself. I mean, I don't have like the skill and the quality to make it sound like like it's on Billboard #1, but I just like how it sounds better.
Like, you know how your voice sounds and how it should sound.
Right. It's super weird. I mean, I feel like I got to get over it just because it's like, just because I like the way I did it doesn't mean that that's the right way.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definitely a perfectionist. I redo takes 1,000 times. It's crazy.
Do you feel like it holds you back sometimes being a perfectionist?
100%. That's why I look up to IV, because like I see him, I've been in the studio with him before, and he records it and he's like, all right, that was good. And I record my take and I'm like, nah, let me go back. So that's why it takes so long for me to release a song. But he is like a machine. Like I look up to that. I wish I could release music that easily.
Right. I mean, now that we're talking about, you know, the homie, how did you guys meet? Because that's where I met you was at an IV show. I'm pretty sure it was at Tough Times was the first time I ever seen you perform.
Yeah, so I went to go see one of my friends perform, and the DJ, which is Blood Internet, yeah, he came up to me and he started talking to me and this and that, and I was like, yo, this is distracting. Yeah. He started talking to me. He was like, oh, what do? You do music? And yeah, he just like introduced me to IV, and I was like, ever since then we basically became friends. And like, I was honestly kind of intimidated at first because I'm so used to going to shows and everybody's like,
right.
But I said hi to IV, and he was like, oh, what's up? Nice to meet you. And like, there was a full moon that day or something like that, and like we all went outside and looked at the full moon, and it was like a good vibe. Like I don't know, it felt weird because I was so used to going to these rap shows, and everybody, you say hi to someone and they're like,
damn, people were doing that to you?
People were just naturally like that in Miami.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like a girl can't even wave at you? That's wild. That's not wild.
Yeah, like everybody's just super like tough, and like they feel like you're trying to like, which I understand, where they feel like you're just trying to talk to them for clout or whatever it may be. But sometimes it's just like, you're a person just like I'm a person. Like, we're all normal people.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is like, I feel like when it comes to that, it's all about your approach.
No, 100%.
Like, if you come at me the right way, I'm gonna fuck with you.
No, 100%. Like, I agree.
Regardless, if I could do something for you and like I'm not going out of my way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. So.
Me too.
That's how it is. But so you met him at the show, and then from there you guys kind of built a friendship. And this is before or after he started putting you on the shows?
He put me on a show first.
Seen you perform.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, I fuck with her vibe." Wait, I don't remember actually, cause I remember that he sent me a song. He was just like, "Oh, hop on this song," which is the first song we did, which is my favorite song.
That's one of my favorite songs too.
I love that song.
Yes,
so much.
definitely one of the Proximity 2022 top songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so if you go on
Good to
Spotify,
hear.
look up Proximity 2020, like Proximity FM.
I think you actually put
East Coast,
East
we
Coast.
played East Coast like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna show love.
I appreciate that 100%.
So you'll see it there. But so how did that song come about?
Dude, it was actually crazy because this doesn't happen to me often where I hear a song and like I just come out with the lyrics. Like I played the song in the car and the verse opened up, like the verse came up and I just spit the whole bar. And like freestyled it basically, like humming it. Obviously, it wasn't like lyrics.
But you had the cadence.
I had it all in my head, and I was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have heard that because now I'm gonna forget it." But when I went home later on that day, I recorded the draft, and I remembered it, and I was like, "Damn, that was the first time I've ever had a song come out so smooth."
Right.
And it's like
it's a great vibe.
I love that song.
It's a great vibe
so much.
Like it gives me like that promiscuous girl, like that type of vibe. Like
no, I feel you.
I like it a lot. Like I like it a lot. I like when you guys perform it, like everything.
100%.
Yeah, it's super cool. Super cool.
I really enjoy our vibes together on songs.
Yeah. And wait, you guys got like another one that one's more like a pop joint.
Yeah.
I don't know why I want to say drum and bass, but it's not drum and bass. It's more just like pop.
But it does have a little kind of tiny vibe there.
Yeah. So that's the one that's going to be on his album.
If I'm not wrong, I think that one is going to be on the album, but then we have another one that's going to be on the album too, unreleased.
Is there anything you could tell us about it, or?
No.
You know I got to try. I got to try.
100%.
But now that we're talking about, your music, of course, let's talk about East Coast. How did that song come about?
So that's actually the first song that I wrote on my new computer.
Shout out
it's full circle. Yeah, I just I remember I downloaded everything on my computer and I was like, oh my god, I got a new computer, and I was excited, and I just like made it on like I didn't even have like my microphone or anything. I just played it out loud, made it with the speakers. I recorded a demo, like putting my head in the computer basically. I was like talking. I was just like recorded the demo, and it all came so smoothly. Like some of my favorite songs came so smoothly. Like my song Line, I wrote it in a day and recorded it in like 2 days. It was crazy. Because for me, it takes a long time to write a song.
No, I mean, you said you're a perfectionist, so I definitely believe you.
And East Coast was one of those songs too. I wasn't sure when I was gonna release it, but I was like, I might as well just release it right now and just like switch up the vibes from my last song that I did with Silly. Is like really aggressive, so.
Mm-hmm. So, did you write that from like somewhere like the truth, or you just like?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's strange because I had like this friend group that like I wasn't vibing with that much anymore. So like I kind of I stopped talking to them. So that song was kind of like talking about like my friend breakups, which I believe are true. Everybody's always heartbroken about their like actual breakups, but I feel like you can be heartbroken about
losing a friend fucking hurts.
It hurts,
especially when it's like you don't know really what happened.
No, exactly.
Like that shit hurts.
So yeah, that's basically about that. And I also kind of like started going to a lot of shows by myself, which is how I met IV, where I realized that if you go to a place by yourself, you are like 100 times more likely to make friends.
That is true though.
If you go with a group of friends, or even if you're with one other person, nobody's gonna go up to two people and talk to them. But if you're by yourself, people are gonna walk by you and smile at you. It's so strange how that happens, and it's like, all right.
Yeah,
for sure.
I definitely felt that.
Yeah.
That's
it.
I thought you had more for me. All right, so switching gears here. So, what do you do for fun? Like, how do you like separate yourself from music?
Well, I used to go to work, but I quit my job like 3 days ago.
Damn, what were you doing?
I was working at a golf shop, so like I don't even play golf.
Damn. So how'd you quit on them? Like 2 weeks notice?
Yeah, 2 weeks notice.
Okay,
I had been there since 2018.
Okay.
So like those people basically saw me grow up as an artist and as a person and as this and that. So like, it was actually really sad to go. My last day, like I cried a little. Well, I didn't really cry, but like I almost shed a tear because my
So you're an emotional person?
I 100%. I will 100% cry.
So you're a crybaby?
100%.
Okay.
And I'm like proud of that. I try not to because I'm like, damn, like.
Now you gotta own that shit.
But yeah, no, I'm really emotional. Like everything I take to heart.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
So you were saying you recently quit your job? That your job was kind of your distraction from music, but now that you don't have a job, your new getaway from music is?
Well, I don't ever want to get away from music. Everything that I do is to inspire me more. So, but I do like to lately I've been spending a lot of time outside. Like I walk my dog, I do stretches.
What kind of dog do you have?
I don't even know. She's a mix of like a lab and like a Weimaraner, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. But, so yeah, I just be spending time outside. I play a lot of video games.
Damn, what do you play?
Right now, I'm like back on Fallout 4.
Damn.
Which is like, I know it's an old game, but like I bought it and I played 2 minutes of it and never finished it. So I'm back on that.
What other games do you play?
I played a lot of The Last of Us. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, but I haven't updating it is a pain, so I never updated it.
Yeah, it takes hella long.
I know. So yeah, a lot of that. I play a lot of single player games.
Like God of War and like those type of games?
No, I played like Assassin's Creed recently. Okay. I also play like really nerdy ass games called City Skylines.
I think I've heard of it before.
Where you like make a city.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know exactly what game you're talking about. That game is not nerdy. That game is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's super cool. I love like street outlines and like I'm a big fan of architecture, like random things like that. So yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. No fighting games in there?
No.
Oh, peaceful.
I'm really bad at the fighting games. I'm like bad at button smashing.
That's the only games I'm like I can consider myself good at.
I wish.
So, do you like what kind of movies do you like and like things like that?
That's really hard. I love scary movies, but I haven't found a good scary movie in a really long time.
Nah, I seen the last scary movie I saw what's the one that came out? It wasn't Chucky. It was Michael Myers.
Oh, yeah, but that's like not really scary. That's just kind of like you're watching people run.
It's like suspense.
Suspense, yeah, exactly, more. Yeah. But no, the last scary movie I watched was The Babadook.
No, I never even heard of it. Oh, do you count Megan as a scary movie?
No, I don't think I even saw that.
Oh, it was like, I guess it was more like a thriller.
Oh.
It was like about this girl who like made like this like AI robotic doll that got close and it started killing people and shit.
Yeah, I've heard of that. No, but I never watched it.
It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was pretty good.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, it's one of those, like those movies that have you screaming at the screen because like the people are just so fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, right. That's like every movie. You're always
turn
like,
this shit off.
Exactly. You see them running. Like actually, I watched the last Michael Myers movie.
Yeah.
And I was watching it with my mom, and they're running and running and running. They're walking actually, not running. Or no, they're running.
No, they like run 5 steps, turn around.
And I know, and then they fall every fucking 5 seconds. You're like, I would hate to hang out with you.
Clumsy ass.
Exactly. Michael Myers is just walking casually like, this bitch is dumb as hell.
Facts. He's like, yo, you're just gonna play into my hands.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that, you know, people would actually be surprised to learn about you? I feel like actually like just from like seeing you at shows and stuff, what you told me, I learned like a lot about you that's very surprising.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that like my social media presence doesn't really reflect too much of my personal life.
Right.
It reflects a lot of like my artistic stuff. But like, yeah, a lot of people don't know that I play video games like every night. People don't know that I like I'm into like random things like architecture. I mean, don't ask me anything about architecture, but no, I can
I don't have anything valid to contribute to that.
I'm really into like learning a lot about cultures and stuff like that. I'm into like a bunch of stuff actually. I'm like, I recently tried learning 3 different languages.
Damn, what were the languages?
I started learning Zulu, which is like South African. But I kind of stopped because I don't know really like any movies or music or anything like that, or anybody that speaks Zulu that I can like actually practice with. So now I'm trying to learn Portuguese.
That'd be cool.
Don't ask me anything in Portuguese.
Trust me, I don't have anything. I just speak to them in Spanish whenever I speak to them, and
and they understand.
now we take out some similar words and we figure it out.
Exactly.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Do you speak any other languages besides English or
Spanish?
Spanish?
Yeah, I'm boring, bro. I'm just Dominican.
Oh, that's fire.
That's it, you know. Nothing too crazy.
Hmm.
Now, what's next? What would you say is next? Like, what do you got coming now? What are you working on? Are we gonna get a project?
Yeah. So I have a next. Oh my God, I can't talk. I have a song coming out next month. On the 15th, or is it the 14th?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the 15th. And it's the song that I was talking about earlier with my guitar teacher and the guitar solo. I also had Ray. You saw her perform one time, I think, at the Christmas show.
She has the guitar. Yes, I remember her. Isn't she performing at this show too? Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, sir.
She does some vocals on the chorus there. I had my brother play the drums. Well, not the drums, but like the African drums. He played that on the song. So I'm excited for that because every time I perform that song, which is Feel Right actually, where I'm like I make people go like this.
Yeah.
Every time I perform that song, I get good feedback. Everybody's like, "Yo, how come that song isn't released?" So I'm excited for that. Other than that, I'm trying to release a song every month.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I do a lot of music.
I like that though. I like that. I feel like you have a consistent work ethic. Is there anybody that like is on your radar that you would like to work with that like you've been seeing what they do?
Not really.
She's like, I'm just trying.
Like I feel like it all comes in the moment. Like I make a song and I'm like, this person would sound good on this.
Even if it's just like on the production side, maybe like.
I've tried to do like some production. Actually, there's my last song that I did. I realized this whole time I was saying that my last song was silly, but the last song I did was No Way, which I made with this artist called Queen Ife, and also Josie.
Okay.
And Queen Ife does producing, so she produces her own music and stuff like that. She's actually like popping off like on Instagram and stuff like that, making beats. Have you ever seen somebody like do beats of glass? Like she like remakes like early 2000s beats but with glass and like homemade objects.
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, she does that. So I mean, hopefully one day I'd be able to make a song with her. That'd be cool. I mean, I already did, but like producing a song would be really cool to do with her.
That's cool. Would you be open to doing like a tape with an artist? Like you make all the beats for them and they do their thing.
Yeah, Ivy's been trying to get me to produce for him, but like I just haven't really done it. I have like a few songs on hold, but I'm like, damn, none of these would even be good for Ivy. I have like 3 songs right now that I'm trying to show him, so we'll see.
What programs do you use to like produce?
Ableton.
Ooh, fancy.
Ableton for life.
You said no FL Studio, no Fruity Loops in this piece.
I mean, they all work. They're all basically the same, but I like Ableton because I feel like it has more of that like weird vibe. Like you can do weird stuff. You can like edit audios in like the weirdest kind of ways. So.
And you can record the music right there too, right?
Yeah. I use it for producing and recording.
That's lit. Damn, we didn't talk about Millie Smoke. I know you got a couple of joints with her.
I got one song with Millie Smoke. Yeah.
How did that come about?
That was that was fun. That was a really fun song to do.
Yeah, she's a fireball, no pun intended. No pun intended, but yeah, she's cool. I like her.
Yeah, nah, she's great. I love her energy. She really brought that song like some energy that wasn't on there previously. So I can appreciate that. Working with her is so easy. Cause like I feel like you hit up an artist and it takes forever or this and that, or it's just constant back and forth and nothing ever gets done. But working with Millie Smoke, it was just like, here's a song. Oh, it's gonna be this and that. This is how we're gonna do it. All right, boom.
She sent it immediately.
100%. And she even like came down to like my house to record the video and stuff like that. So it was like a big vibe. I love Millie Smoke.
So more visuals coming for you, right?
Actually, yeah, but not for the song that I have with Millie Smoke.
Who are some of the videographers that you like to work with, or do you also edit your own videos?
That's all done at home. Like my family all does that. Like
Really?
my mom makes the wardrobe for me. Nicolas, which you see him at the shows, he's always with me. He is the one that like directs most of them, and well, my mom directs them too. But
Wow.
like, so yeah, it's like all a homemade process. I do not spend like any money on anything because we all do it at home, you know.
That is really cool.
So yeah, I can appreciate that one.
So your family's always been like supportive of Like,
Yes.
you chasing this music thing.
Yes, that I'm honestly so like, I don't even know the word.
You would say blessed, right?
Yeah, I'm blessed for that.
Because, no, trust me, it's like, I know a lot of times parents don't see it until you're doing something, until they're like, oh, wait, you got to show every weekend what's going on here. Like,
Yeah, my mom knows the struggle too because I think my grandma didn't really, or my grandfather didn't want her to become a dancer, but my grandfather didn't want her to become a dancer, but my grandmother wanted to support her. So my grandma would take her to like all these like classes and stuff like that, and so like she kind of knows like what that struggle is a little bit. So I'm very
lucky to have someone that's
I'm
going to
very
be in
lucky,
your corner.
yeah. And she also teaches me like stage presence because she used to be on stage a lot. She teaches me like body movements, how to like present yourself because you have to be kind of exaggerated on stage and on video because in person things look natural. On video and all of that, like you have to double everything for it to look natural. It's crazy.
No, I agree exactly with what you're saying in regards to like the flow of the conversation and just like things like that. I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Damn, shout out to your moms for real.
No, for sure. She went to one of my shows with IV. I'm trying to get her to go to more shows, but they're always so far.
Yeah, it is. Have you thought about doing like a show in your area, like organizing your own show?
I've thought about that, but that's like a lot of stress. And I've tried to like actually get some artists to like hop on a show one time, and it was just kind of like, oh God, I'd rather have somebody else do this.
I kind of feel, I could kind of agree with that. It's kind of hard to organize and have so many people and stuff like that. That's why sometimes it's like you got to like overbook just to make sure that, all right, you still have enough. And then it's like sometimes you overbook and then they all come. And then it's hard to like.
Yeah, everybody has a 1 minute set.
Exactly. Like, shit is crazy.
Yeah, and also I feel like a lot of people like won't go to things unless they know somebody that has clout that's gonna go and stuff like everything is super like. I don't know how to explain it. Like everybody knows each other, and they're only gonna go to places that they know each other. So like, two totally different worlds don't ever really collide here. I've noticed like the people that I hang out with IV, for example, don't really like hang out with the people that hang out with like Baby G and stuff like that. Like I'm friends with people from both groups, but I never see them in the same room together. It's crazy.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I feel like it still is slowly but surely happening. Because it's like with like, artists like you, artists like Steffi, artists like Millie, like it's bringing more of that, so it's like it is kind of like combining those
I love that.
worlds. And two, it's like a lot of the times it's like, I go to like a lot of these shows, especially like on larger scales or smaller scales, and they're all packed. Like the same people that would like more of a traditional hip hop style would also like some alternative shit and vice versa. So it's like there should be more
collectiveness there. More I mean like I love that for example like Steffi, she did tell me for the one of the last performances, she did tell me, she's like, I'm gonna perform stuff that I had never performed. It's gonna be a different vibe. And I was thinking like, okay, I mean I've heard her music before, which she took most of it down from Spotify, which breaks my heart, but
damn.
Yeah, but so I was kind of just expecting that, but she came and like had a rock show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh hell yeah, like this is a fucking vibe. Like I love that.
You get in the mosh pit?
Oh hell yeah, 100% I'm gonna get in the mosh pit.
Oh shit, she throwing both.
I'm gonna break my leg in the mosh pit. I don't care.
That's crazy. What's your best mosh pit story?
I broke my leg in the mosh pit.
No, when I went to see Rob Banks, that was crazy.
Mosh pit legend.
Yeah, no, I saw Rob Banks and like I was in the mosh pit, but I had to get out because like people were falling, like everybody was running in a circle and everybody fell. And next thing you know, it's just like all of a sudden all I see is like bodies on the ground, and I was like, I'm glad I was not in that because I would have broken a leg.
Yeah.
Like all these, I'm tiny, you feel me? Like all these heavy ass, tall ass people.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. Well, I think we got to. We got to where we needed to get to.
For sure.
Of course, let the people know, what you got coming up, what you currently are promoting, where they could find you.
On Instagram, my name is Angelica Nor _ On Twitter, on YouTube, it's just Angelica Nor. Spotify, Angelica Nor. Everywhere else, Angelica Nor. And I'll spell it ANGELICA space NOR, like neither shape nor shadow.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Florida Vibe Directory. It's your boy, Gabe Avelli. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and keep supporting us. Y'all make sure y'all keep liking, subscribing, tell a friend to tell a friend. You already know what time it is, man. Big shout out to my boy, Young Cool Hands on the motherfucking boards as always. You already know what it is. It's a Florida Vibe Director. We out this motherfucker.
This is Zanaya.
It's the righteous vigilante Jamon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open. Hey, yo, check it out. This is Namestream, never mainstream. You're tuning in to Minds Wide Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.